Hey YouTube, coming at you with the viewer submitted team from Z, who I'm gonna give you a little history about the channel and the subscribers who submit, because it's quite a range. So when I started the channel, I always wanted to, I modeled my channel after Wallower, Tho, and FP Sticks, and those are the three guys who did GBL, but their videos were more like teaching, like this is what you need to know about the matchups, this is what you need to know about the game mechanics, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I built this channel. And with it, I've helped a lot of people get success, because I think explaining these ins and outs of matchups and stats and everything will help you advance in GBL. And the people who watch I've got like 27,000 plus subscribers now, the ELO ranges. And obviously the majority of the people are in that sort of 2,000 to 2,500, 2,700 ELO. But there are at times when I have subscribers who either will just watch my channel or actually started learning from my channel and are now like consistent leaderboard people. So Z, I think, was maybe he's definitely a subscriber and he submits often. I don't know if he learned from me, but I know there are other subscribers who have come to me and said, I did not know anything about GBL. I learned from you, and now they're constant like top leaderboard players. And I know the one for sure is Nighttime Clasher, and Nighttime Clasher has won multiple regionals. So like play Pokemon Championship regionals. So he says he learned the game from my channel, and then obviously he just like dominated since then. So it's kind of funny, the feeling all nostalgic 4+ years in here of like where the channel started, where it's going, and like the people who have learned and passed the teacher here. Anyways, so Z is a constant leaderboard, constant legend player who submits often, and he actually said, "Hey Dan, been lacking motivation to play this season, which is why I haven't recorded it and sent any battles until now. It even got so far that I went back to the dark side and played with Bastiodon for a couple of days after I got XLs from GoFest, and I have hated Bastiodon with passion for several years. Built this team in the start of the season and decided to give it a go as I'm still learning to use it. I do believe it's strong enough to use for a legend run if you are familiar with it and learn how to read your opponent's teams properly, enjoy the battles." So yes, so he's constant legend, pushing now with jellicent, CRADILY, and dedenne. Pretty balanced team, right? Dedenne is going to be weak to ground, and then jellicent and CRADILY to a certain extent will deal with that, and then jellicent's weak to dark, dedenne will deal with that. CRADILY's probably safe swap here. Pretty safe Pokemon overall. So let's see how it plays out. Chestnut, kind of a tricky one. Yeah, getting into CRADILY right away, getting some acid here. They may stay in, and Frenzy's neutral. Superpower is super effective, so let's see what they decide to do. They can kind of go either or here. Yep, just starting with a Frenzy, which is neutral, and now they could potentially stay in, and losing CMP here to a potential superpower is tough. It's all that rust. So losing CMP, this may grab a shield, but no, everything's resisted. Yeah, I forgot that. You only have rock moves and grass moves, and both are resisted on their grass fighter. So Typhlosion comes in. Are we going to see a double fire team? And make a catch, hoping that it is the Blast Burn and not a Thunder Punch bait. It is a Blast Burn, so catching that, they will get to a Thunder Punch here and take you. I was going to say take you out. It's non-stab. They are shadow, and it is super effective. Yeah, you do live with Jellicent's just tanky enough to take that. So getting one Hex 3-turn move in, and then the Surf. This will take out. They could come in and just slash down, throw them. Oh, why aren't we throwing the move? And now they get to another move. Man, ooh, this is not the play Z usually comes at me with. So it is the double fire team with Chestnut in the front. That's basically my double fire team with Lurantis. So not surprised that there is potential to use it. Let's see if they're running Flame Charge or just going to have to go Brave Bird here. They're just going to go Brave Bird. Not enough to take out and get to a move. This will take out the rest here. How much health do they have left on the Chestnut here? Not enough. So taking it down despite some uncharacteristic misplays here. Okay, terrible lead. Got to get out into CRADILY. Let's see if they decide to chip with drill run. Why are we shielding, my man? You don't need to shield this. I assume that was maybe a mistake shield. Unless, okay, I mean, unless you want to Rock Tomb to lower their attack first, but you don't really need to shield up a non-stab drill run from Dunsparce here. Because it does not do a lot. Let's see if you just go for the confirmed. Okay, going for the Rock Tomb. Should be enough with this asset adding up. Clearly they do not add just one short, which is unfortunate. Eventually getting into Driftblim very late. Rock Tomb will be super effective. Not Rock Tomb. Yeah, Rock Tomb. Sorry. Super effective. Going to go straight to Dedenne. You might still want to... You lowered their attack. It's Shadow, though, so it's just an Icy Wind, so that's not bad. Going to get off this Parabolic Charge right away. I mean, this will take out the rest if they decide to let it go. They do not. They have to shield. And then we'll get to the Icy Wind. Now you decision time. Because if you let this go... Oh, you live an Icy Wind from that, I guess, after you boost your defense. So that is actually huge to live that and take this out. I think you just go down no matter what comes in here. Jump Fluff. CRADILY. Aerial Ace will take you out from this range, though. That's the problem. And you probably want to get a move off. Watch a potential catch here. Yep. Kind of knew that was coming. See? You have to be aware of that. Getting the resisted Hex down. We'll get to a Shadow Ball here. They're going to need either Acrobatics or an Energy Ball. One Aerial Ace will not take you out. And a Surf was going to put some pressure on here. Surf will take out. You can just probably throw Surf from here if you live this. It is an Energy Ball. Do we have a move? We do have a Rock Tomb. Hey, look at that. No one turn leg. Oh, how lovely that must be for you. Enough to take out the Jump Love. Corsola. Okay, kind of an evenish lead. You're both getting to the ghost moves at the same time. They can't bait. You can bait. Let's see if they decide to shield or let this go. They do let it go, thinking that they live a... Yeah, Corsola's tanky enough that it could probably live a Shadow Ball, quite honestly. Nightshade lands not enough to take out. That's actually surprising to me. I guess Jellicent has some bulk, so I guess it shouldn't be too surprising. Get to a second Surf, not enough to take out, so that is unfortunate. Gotta come. Dedenne. Are we going to shield and over farm, or are we just going to let this go? We're going to let this go, hoping that they're weak in the back to CRADILY. Drapion, of course, is going to cause problems, like it often does if you don't have a immediate answer to it. Maybe catch an Aqua Tail here. Maybe we could have caught an Aqua Tail, opting to stay in this matchup and grab one shield back here. It is the CMP. See if they decide to let it go. No. I think you have to let it go and just come CRADILY, get some acids, but they're going to get to a crunch because acid is resisted and you're not going to be able to acid down here. Not without them getting to a crunch, I mean. You'll be able to acid down, but yeah, I'd respect the crunch too. And their own CRADILY in the back. I hate to say it. You lost this matchup because you baited. So down to shield. I assume they're just going to go double Grass Knot here. It'd be kind of... Yeah, it would be otherwise pretty stupid just to not do that. So going for a second Rock Tomb to hoping to lower their attack enough to... But does not matter. Getting to a second Grass Knot. Yeah. So that bait on the lead. And then, yeah, Drapion was actually pretty tough for the mid game here. They come in Drapion... To what? Catch here? Isn't this game over? How are you still alive? They shielded? Why did they shield? Okay. What is happening? Okay. Scizor. So, Bullet Punch is resisted. Night Slash is super effective. You're at 15, so you can let one go and get to any move you want here before they get to a next move. Are they going to try and catch? No catch. Going for the Surf, assuming they're going to shield and get one back here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Bait. Here comes the Night Slash. You can definitely take it out with a Surf here. going for that surf. Enough to take out. Let's see if they just give this up. They do. What's going straight? We have 2 answers for Azumarill. Ice Beam is super effective. Yeah, so here comes a shield to shield up that super effective Ice Beam. These assets are adding up. Are we just going to go straight Grass Knot? Yeah, let's not screw around with Rock Tomb here. Straight Grass Knot. Not enough to take out. Now you can bait if you want. Now you're going to have to take a super effective Ice Beam. You'll probably live. And out comes their own Cradily. So we're going to lower its attack first. And then lower it times 2 or go over Grass Knot here. Yeah, going Grass Knot just to put on a lot of... Like this will put it low enough to put on pressure. And they shield, unfortunately. Do get to surf. It is neutral here. Acid is resisted, so opting to throw with 1 HP left. Ooh. Taking a surf and then throwing with 1 HP is a decision. It is now basically dedenne range. Letting that that switch timer burn a little bit. They will have a move. It will not take out. You'll get to the parabolic charge. I guess. Ooh, Azumarill's coming in quickly here. That's kind of surprising, just letting you get the full, basically 2 moves here. So 1 to take this out, and then another to take this out here. Yeah, I don't really like how your opponent played that. Okay. Jellicent into Scizor. So you've seen this. We know Bullet Punch is resisted. We know we can live 1 Night Slash. We know we can put on pressure with the Surfs. So let's see if this plays the exact same way. Here comes the first Night Slash. You know, if they have bulky Pokemon in the back and they have something like they could catch here on a Ferret or an Azumarill. Yeah. That's smart, actually, right? You put pressure on the Night Slash there. You're going to give up switch into Azumarill, which is obviously going to have problems here. But you save your... You have 2 bulky Pokemon in the back, and you save shields for your Scizor. So play rough or whatever, you'll live, especially after boosting your defense. We're going to try and overfarm here. So this is what Legends do very well, is this overfarm. Coming out with a bunch of energy, knowing when to throw right before they get to a move. Coming out with energy, putting pressure on the shields, right? If you watch any Play Pokemon Championship or you watch like Legends, this is what they do. They really put on some pressure here. Ooh. Try to like catch Snipe. Had to burn a shield. We'll get a Surf off. Let's see if they let this go or try to shield and farm down. It's going to be an aggressive Bullet Punch down here. They do get it though. Loaded with energy. Do you sacrifice dedenne? Can you get to a move before they throw? What are we doing here? Coming Cradily. Bullet Punch is super effective. They're going to Night Slash and get it to a second, and you're going to have to shield. Yeah, this is tough. I feel like you needed to like maybe try to burn it on dedenne, but I know you're super low there. Catch here? Yeah. Basically, your only chance here is to catch and hope they have like a Mud Boy in the back here. So, well, they have a Blastoise. Close enough. We have a ton of energy. Get to this one here. Yep. The win con of coming out with a ton of energy. Oh, tie. Yeah. Bullet Punch is super effective on the rock, and your poison acid is resisted on the steel. So not surprising that it actually ended up a tie there. Terrible lead for them. Diggersby. Yeah, I guess this is your best answer for Diggersby, even though the acid is resisted. You could have also, just to make this a little more comfortable, I know you didn't want to desync the switch clocks a ton, but you could have stayed in. Quick Attack was also resisted, and then get a super effective Surf off if you wanted to. As opposed to taking it in this matchup where, you know, Scorching Sands is neutral. Once they land this one, you're now in Fire Punch range. Quick Attack is also resisted on you. But now you're in Fire Punch range. And they double shield. Holy smokes. Can we get to another move? Okay, this is pretty big, being able to land this. Because now it's just Surf range. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, getting out of this matchup. You know, I know they probably don't have Crunch, but the Claw Hydro Cannon is almost better. What are they doing? Holy crap. Okay. So for those not watching, we had for Alligator lead. We swapped into Cradily. They overfarmed a ton. Last time I checked, they would have got to the Ice Beam before we got to a Grass Knot. Decided, nah, man, I'm going to farm to 100. And then when we threw the Grass Knot, they're like, nah, man, I'm not going to shield. So they just went down. So what turned out to be a bad start is now grabbing 2 shields from Primeape in the mid game here. They're loaded, so here comes the first Rage Fist. May need to shield up the second one. Probably not, actually. You could probably live the second. My only concern is if you shield the second, they may get to a third before you even get to your move here. So you have to double shield, which I don't love, because they could also maybe catch here now. They do not catch. I feel like you could have lived the second and shielded the third and come out with energy here for dedenne trying to chip here. If this puts it, so a Parabolic Charge does like 50-ish%. Yeah. So I think they're basically in Parabolic Charge range, quite honestly. You'll live a play rough, so you can just confirm, let this go and get the play rough. But Parabolic Charge also does like it does like 40% in the mirror match. So I think you probably could have got away with it by just confirming the knockout there. Jellicent into Ferret. Okay, brutal lead. Save swap here. Let's see if they try to like chip first. Oh, getting a brutal amount of lag. Weak connection, costing you a couple fast moves. So they trailblaze and are staying in this matchup. When you see something like this, alarm bells should be going, and they shield. Interesting. Alarm bells should be going off of why are they not trying to keep alignment on the Jellicent, right? They have a fantastic matchup, and they're only doing this for 2 reasons. One is they absolutely have no answer for Cradily, and their best answer is here, or they've got a second answer to Jellicent in the back somewhere. So we'll see which one it is after we play out this dedenne matchup. Sucker Punch is resisted, and they are still staying in. They have boosted their attack twice, but you did lower it once. So Swift's, yeah, gonna start adding up here. And they're gonna need to move. Now you need to commit the shield here and farm. And then figure out if they have a second Jellicent answer in the back, or they just didn't have a Cradily answer. Well, Wiggly. So Wiggly is a pretty good Jellicent answer. It's both here. So, yeah, so Wiggly's obviously terrible for Cradily because it really has acid. But also, Jellicent with Hex is resisted. So Hex is resisted here. Now all their charge moves are resisted, but I could just see an Icy Wind coming your way to lower your attack and just ensure that the Surf doesn't take them out. So trying to overfarm a bit here, but I don't think one Surf's going to take them out. And now you're very low after all these charms, and they're going to get to another move here? No. Still though. A lot of damage from those charms. Do take it out. What else do they have in the back? A Jellicent. Watch the catch. Reset here maybe. Both of you kind of knew what was happening there. Get the farm down. Have a Shadow Ball. Is a full health Jellicent out from take out from a Shadow Ball here? I don't think so. No, it does not. Okay, Talonflame, good lead. They get out into their own Cradily, and it's a Bullet Seed at that. So chipping with Surf, and the reason we're doing this is we don't have a good answer. So we need to chip it to put it within Grass Knot range for this matchup here. And they're going to get to Rock Tomb first, and obviously they're going to go for Rock Tomb because that's what people do in these matchups. They get to a second move, that's okay. Second Rock Tomb is going to put you, I still think you could take out here. Going for your own Rock Tomb instead of guaranteeing the KO with Grass Knot. This will not KO. Yeah, I think you gotta go Grass Knot there. I think you gotta go Grass Knot there to try and KO. The damage is a significant difference. And now we just lost switch because of it. So we're gonna try and come Hex down. Do get the Hex down. but we just lost switch into a second grass Pokemon, although it's not like dedenne is a good answer for this in the back either, so dedenne is kind of a lost cause here. They do shield up a Shadow Ball. Oh boy. They're going to CMP you. Honestly, you shouldn't be... I'm going to chalk a lot of this up to just rust. Because I even mentioned myself, like when it's a crappy limited league and I take off like for like Thursday to Monday and then I start up again on Tuesday, I do feel how much worse I play. So I'm going to chalk up just some of this to rust. This is not Prime Z. There's definitely some mistakes in here. Timing and CMPs and some of these shields that I'm not loving. Oh, you got a chip there too. You got a chip to put it in Shadow Ball range. Maybe this is enough, but it would have definitely been enough with a Paraball of Charge. And if it's not, yeah, you just lost this game because of that. My man. Oof. Hyping you up in the intro for some very, very, very questionable plays. Trust me, he's better than that. He has submitted. Here's the thing. He's submitted so many times, and I have showcased his like top leaderboard, like front page leaderboard teams and elo rating, and usually plays a lot better than that, but a lot of mistakes that he would not normally make, and ones that I'm calling out more because with these higher elo people, like sometimes in his past ones I'll get like 10 battles and I'll have like maybe one comment. Otherwise it's just like do this, do this, do this, and he's doing it. So like we're just in unison. But this one is just like, ooh, bad CMP, not throwing there, bad alignment, bad shielding. Still at 2,800, so that's ahead of me, so what the hell do I know? Right? So thanks for the submission. Appreciate it as always. Thanks everyone for watching. And hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.